What's up, y'all? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. You guys are coming on in. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you guys. I know I'm on a bit early. Blessings to you, Kanima. I know I'm on a bit early. I'm up and at it. Yesterday I needed a mental break. I needed a physical break too. It feels like I have not broadcasted in a while, but I know I did one at least. I think I did one yesterday. Um, what a difference a day can make. I'm just gonna start there. What a difference a day can make. I don't think we realize it. Like sometimes the breaks that we don't want to take. Sometimes those breaks are like the most needed. And so, our declaration on this Saturday, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. It's a little bit nippy outside, but it's beautiful. The sun's shining. But our declaration is there's a reason for the delay. There's a reason for it. There is a reason why God sometimes will slow the pace down. I'll say it again. There is a reason for whatever delay you are experiencing. There's a reason behind why God sometimes will slow us down, while God will sometimes slow the process down. There's always a reason, behind it. I'm gonna say it again. There is always a reason behind God slowing things down. I think, we've all like had those moments where, we are trying to push, 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 and God will he'll just slow it down, right? Hey, Visha. I think we've all had like that moment, right? Where we're trying to hurry up and get something accomplished and God is like, pause, right? I'm sure we've all been pursuing something or, been doing something and things just, listen, things just literally just kind of like go a little bit sideways. Like there is a reason for every single delay that we experience. There is a reason why God sometimes slows processes down, why God will sometimes slow us down. There's always, can somebody just say there's a reason behind it? There's a reason behind it. Now, granted, experiencing God slowing things down is not fun. It ain't fun. I don't care what nobody say. If they say that, like, when God starts to slow stuff down, when God himself delays it, not the enemy, but it's God, it does not, it don't feel good. I don't care what nobody tell you. It's one of the worst feelings, because a lot of times the things that God slows down, they are things that like we feel like we need. Give me a one if you understand what I'm saying. A lot of times, like the things that God slows down, the areas where we experience delays, these are the areas where we like, but God, I need you to like move like right now. Like this is a need. And this is happening, right? This was me with the housing process, y'all. Like I kid y'all not. And it was so bad, the delay that I was experiencing was so very bad, to the degree where I had a pressure. I know it was stress related. It was a stress related headache. It was stress related. And so, as these days have been going by, each day has provided like different insight. Each day that has gone by has provided me like a different sense of clarity. And like today was like, hey, blessings to you, Joy Speaks. Today was one of those days where, for the first time in like a few days, no headache. And I just absolutely felt like I have clarity now. Now I'm understanding why there was a delay. So the thing that I was, okay, where do I start, Holy Spirit? So yesterday was one of those days. I'll start here with yesterday, where after the morning broadcast, like, I'm gonna be real, like I was so depressed. I was so very depressed. I was down and out. Like I had like a whole moment where I just had to lay down and bawl my eyes out. Like that type of like cry where all I could do was just cry into like my pillow. I'm not saying that for anybody to be sad, but like we have moments like that where you just get, I don't know if it was frustration. It was a conglomerate of so many different emotions, and I just had to release it. And so yesterday kind of started with me, I think after the first broadcast, right? Because I did do a broadcast yesterday morning. But after, yesterday's broadcast, the Lord began to give me strategy. He said, okay, I want you to call this place that's providing down payment assistance, and I want you to ask them if you can have a cosigner that already owns their home. Long story short, it was a go. The guy's like, as long as your mama not living there, you still qualify. You still qualify for, the down payment assistance. So boom, that was the first thing. It was a go at that point, right? But there were still like so many other barriers that like I had to like think about, so many different things that were really going like on in my mind. And so I just got to a point where the Lord said, call your aunt. For those of you guys that know, my aunt raised me. She's like, what most people, the affection that most people have for like their mothers. I have this affection for my aunt. I'm gonna say that again. Most people have like most children have it's a different type of affection towards their mothers. My aunt is that person for me. She is mama to me. Even though I know I have a mama, my aunt is mama to me. Like that affection that most people have to their parents, I have that affection to my aunt. And so I call my aunt, and I'm just like, you know, I don't know what to do. Like I've been brainstorming, and I'm all tapped out of ideas, and I trust your input. What can I do? And so she begins to just, run me different scenarios. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And I just start crying on the phone. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm crying. And my aunt is just like, I know you tired, baby, but we thank God. She just kept saying, we thank God in advance. We thank God in advance. And so from there, the task was, I promise y'all I'm going somewhere with this. The task was, how do I figure this out, work these figures in a way where the bank will literally say, we can do the deal, right? We can literally do the deal. Give me one of you guys are still following along. So needless to say, the banker calls me and we're talking. And we're talking about the numbers, of course. She's like, okay, that's good that you can get the down payment assistance. I'm trying to see what else we can do so that you don't have to amend nothing else. I said, good. So then, I'm like, all I have is my car note. And then she's like, your student loans. Can you get an income-based repayment plan? If you can do that, it'll create a huge dent, and you'll be right within the margins of where you need to be to like make this deal happen. And so after that, some time passed. I called the student loan people. They're pretty much like, oh, because of what the government is doing, we can't do X, Y, and Z. And so God is like, call them again and tell them you want to set up the income, the income-based repayment plan for after it's over. So at this point, it's a go. Both companies are like, yeah, we can do that. And so that solved the issue of, like the debt to income ratio for the most part. I still have to wait to talk to the banker at some point today or Monday to see if that is enough. And there's one more thing that my aunt knows how to do and that she's going to help me get done, a piece of paperwork that I need. And so push come to shove, that happened. So, pretty much I didn't do anything yesterday. I slept. I allowed myself to mentally rest, to physically rest. And so this morning I wake up, right? And the Lord, was just dealing with me more and more and more. He said, call your aunt again. Ask her if, she knows someone that can help you build a fence. Because at this point, my concern was, well, that's still $5,000 in closing that I don't want to pay. That's still $5,000. Without the fence, it's like $1,700 and you have the home. And so I called my aunt, right? And she's like, yeah, she said, I know some people and I have people that work up here on the farm that, I pay them this amount an hour and we can help you get that done. Just go to the house, give me the dimensions and I'll start looking and you start looking. She said, don't put nothing in your name, put it in my name and we'll get that done. And so it's like, that happened earlier this morning. And so as I was just kind of spending time with God, about the entire debacle, it became aware that there was a reason behind the delay. Am I making sense? Like, sometimes it takes you going through and experiencing the emotions that you need to experience to be able to see what God was doing in the midst of the delay. This was a deeper revelation of me getting my house in order with my student loans, right? This was a deeper aspect of God saying, I know that you want this fence, but it can be done for much cheaper than $4,000. It can be done, and I'm rounding up, it can be done for much cheaper. I know you don't want to really get out there and do manual labor like when you were a kid, but you are going to have to get out there and break that ground yourself. And so a lot of in hindsight 2020, a lot of this pressure was from me. The pressure with closing, the pressure with the fence. I was literally not receptive to not having a fence, right? And the Lord had to put it to me this way. He said, a few days of you taking your dogs out on a leash in your own backyard without a fence is not going to kill you. It is not going to kill you. So take the fence off of the contract, build your own. And that in itself is what decreases. It decreases everything. I pray that I'm making sense. There's always a reason for the delay, but sometimes our emotions block us from seeing what God is really doing. Sometimes our own strong wants, our strong needs, our own strong desires will override what God is trying to show you. And so a lot of times what we experience is the delay goes on until we become receptive to whatever it is that God is. I pray that I'm making sense. I pray that I'm making sense. A lot of times the delays will go on and on and on until we become receptive to however God wants to do it. And I pray that I'm making sense, and to, us just being receptive to letting him be God. Just like nothing, just like, every season is not in vain. Just like every works of our hands is not in vain. The delay that you may be experiencing is not it serves a purpose. It's not in vain. Can somebody just type it in? The delay serves a purpose. It serves a purpose. And, even though my delay is what it has been, and it was what it revolved around, your delay may be something totally different. It may be something totally different. There's a reason behind it. It serves a purpose. Can somebody just simply say that delay is serving a purpose? And it ain't just serving any type of purpose. It's serving God's purpose, right? Whatever the delay is a lot of times when we experience delays, why we freak out is because delays make us feel like things are falling apart. Give me an emoji or something to let me know if this resonates. A lot of times while we freak out, right? When we're experiencing delays, because delays make us feel like things are falling apart. I'm gonna say it again. Delays make us feel like our back is beyond being pushed in the corner. Delays make us feel like it's about to be a worst case scenario. But how many people know there are no such things as a worst case scenario in God? When God is in it, there's no such thing as a worst case scenario. I'm going to say it again because y'all ain't talking back to me this morning. When God is in it, there is no such thing as a worst case scenario. Even in the mix of you facing delays, there is no such thing as a worst case scenario. Am I freezing? Am I freezing? Can somebody let me know if I'm freezing? Because I don't see not one comment. Am I freezing? I don't want to talk to an empty screen when I know I got people on here. I know it's Saturday. I know it's early. But your comments, Stephanie, are the only comments that I am seeing. There's no such thing as a worst case scenario. That's why we freak out. We freak out because, we mistake delays with us not getting whatever it is that we need. We mistake delays. We mistake God slowing things down we equate that to, I'm not going to get what I'm believing you for. Everybody has been there, whether it is a vehicle, whether it is a job, whether it is, business success, whether it is living, whatever the case may be. A lot of times when we experience delays, when we experience God slowing things down, especially when you've already been in a season of struggle, especially when you know that you almost didn't make it out of the season, you're coming out of, when things start getting slowed down, especially because we get a little bit impatient, we get antsy because we want it now, right? We right at the verge. God, let me have the promise right now. And so we start mistaking, God slowing things down and the delay as, as him saying, we're not going to have whatever it is that we feel that we're going to need. So it becomes a fight or flight response, a sink or swim response. So what do? We panic. And that don't help it at all. We panic. And, God allows us to panic. He allowed me to panic. I'm being real. He allows us to feel whatever emotions we need to feel. And then when we're ready, he begins to show us the why behind the delay. He begins to show us the why behind him slowing down, whatever the process is. I pray that I'm making sense. I don't know who needed this word on this morning, but the Lord says to tell you, there's a reason behind your delay. There's a reason behind it. It ain't for nothing. And a lot of times, we'll mistake God slowing a process down or God delaying things as it being the devil. And it ain't always the devil, y'all. Some of y'all gonna be mad at me for saying that because it's much easier to just blame the devil. It's much easier. It makes us feel much better to blame the devil. And we get frustrated because a lot of times we not discerning, is this God or is it the devil? I'm going to say that again. A lot of times we ain't even sitting there discerning, is this God delaying it? Is this God slowing it down? Or is it the devil? And so because we're not properly discerning and we're automatically saying it's the devil, we get mad when we pray and say, God, no weapon formed shall prosper. But who said it was a weapon forming against you in the first place? Ouch. And we get mad. We get even more emotional because God, can't you see I'm praying all these prayers? I'm decreeing and declaring. I'm prophesying come on. I'm prophesying to this thing saying, your will go forth. And ain't nothing it's crickets. We ain't seeing nothing happen from us praying. So it makes us freak out even more. But did it ever done that sometimes it's God? I knew it was God delaying things, but I still was freaking out. I'm going to be real because sometimes it be like that. And I'm not trying to make that seem like a good thing because it's not, but it's real. Sometimes it's like that, even if it's God delaying things, you still a panic. You still be emotional. You still going to cry. You still going to feel whatever feeling you going to feel. Right? And so the question becomes, have you even discerned who's behind the delay? Have you even discerned who's behind slowing whatever process that's being slowed down? Have you even discerned? Because maybe it's not a weapon trying to form. Maybe it's just not the devil this time. Maybe it's not. And sometimes it's not even us, the reason why things are being delayed. Sometimes it is God. He's always working to wield every single area of our lives into perfect alignment. I'm going to say that again. He is always working to weld every single area of our lives into perfect alignment with his will for our lives. That includes that business, that includes living arrangements, that includes everything. So stop freaking out. Somebody tell your neighbor, stop freaking out about it. Stop getting upset about it. Pray. All of this happened when I got to a place where I could just sit down. That's it. All of this began to like all of these revelations, all of these instructions, all of these the strategy, because we serve a God of strategy. So even in the mix of things being delayed, even in the mix of God slowing things down, please don't get it twisted. He's going to give you the strategy that you need to see things move again. I'm going to say that again. God will give you the strategy that you need to see things move again. Yes, he will. Yeah, he will. He'll give you the strategy. He'll give you the strategy. So that is the word today, man. God's got it. He never not had it. He's got the circumstance. He's got the situation. It was never out of control. What was out of control has been our emotions. What's been out of control has been our mind. What's been out of control, come on, somebody. For some people, what's been out of control is your prayer life. You ain't been really praying like that. You've been all over the place. But the thing about it is God ain't freaking out about it. So why are we? God ain't concerned about it. So why are we? In a matter of days, this thing has smoothed itself out. In a matter of days, this thing has smoothed itself out. Did I want to take the fence off of my loan? No. But God told me you need to take it off. It's not needed. You don't need that. Build it yourself. It'll probably be, build it yourself. It ain't going to cost you as much as you think to build your fence. Build it yourself. And it's not that I don't know how to build a fence. It's been a while since I've put up a fence. Since my childhood. I just didn't want to do it. But this is what God needed me to do. I went from looking at closing costs of like $12,000 to looking at closing costs of $5,000 to looking at a closing cost of literally $1,700. Do y'all hear me? $1,700. What a difference. What a difference a few days can make. What a difference. What a difference. Yeah, I said I went from $12,000 to $5,000 down to 17 in a matter of 2 days. So that's it. That's the broadcast. If you can receive this, can you simply just tell God, thank you? If you can receive this, can you simply just tell God, thank you? That's it. So right now, this morning, what I'm about to go and do, I'm probably going to go and actually measure out the backyard, because that's what my aunt asked me to do, measure it out so that I can see exactly how much material I'll need. So right now, my only need is around $15 just to put some gas in my car so that I can make it to that house and make it back where I live, because that house is probably about 20 minutes away. It's a little bit of a drive. And so that is where what my immediate need is right now, is for gas. I just need gas. I have food, y'all. My dogs have food. I just need gas. And so that is it. To those of you guys that are sowing, I just ask that you label it paid in full. You can label it God is faithful. You can label it gas. But that is what I need right now, is literally $15 just to put gas in the car so that I can get this done early before the neighborhood wakes up. And so if you're able to sow towards that goal, I just ask that you do it in a timely manner so that I can go ahead and get what I need to get done. And so that is it, y'all. To those of y'all that need prayer, or for those of you guys that have a testimony, you guys can send it to prayer.thoughtsbyt@gmail.com. I love you guys. I am rooting for you guys. I pray that this has blessed you. I pray that it is giving you exactly what it is that you need. And so till next time, y'all. Peace.